Yo, 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 what up? You got the Retail Nomad coming at you roadside here. You got a little background noise, but I'm down at the beach, and what you see here says Barranco. It's a division just south of Lima, the area called Miraflores. Barranco, it's the hippie, bohemian, artsy, theatrical area, and that's kind of what I'm going to showcase in this video. Show you how the tourism driving off the charts, as well as the locals selling their wares, their merchandise, their goods, and so forth. We're going to cruise around here, spin, and just show you the topography of this cliff line, which is absolutely beautiful. Lima itself is stellar, but that ravine right there, we're going to climb that bad boy, go up into the town of Barranco. Show you the bars, restaurants, shops, boutiques, and everything that we come here to Barranco to see and experience. Retail Nomad showcase. Barranco, Lima, Peru. Hasta la vista, baby.
The Retail Nomad, traveling the globe, sharing what the retail environment is like, hidden corners of the world.
And here you see these epic views once I climb to the top of this sucker. This place is just amazing looking down the coastline. You'd think you were in California or something like that, but just they launch paragliders up here in this elevation and all kinds of cool stuff. But absolutely amazing views up top coming up to Barranco. And here I found one of the coolest little convenience stores, if you will. Inca Chips, Inca Cola. It's a famous soda here in Peru. And of course Coca-Cola. And then cruising over, check out the millwork. It's the oldest bar in Barranco. This place is just a classic. What are the odds that I learned that Piselli General Store and Bar, the oldest one here in Barranco, had John Wayne in here for a shot of whiskey? Kind of love cruising around this bohemian area. See here, you got a little cafe on the left. Then rolling up to these old, huge buildings. Some of these are 100 plus years old, and you see the word over there on the left, Qaytu, Qaytu, which is a small boutique where everything is made from Peru, and it's made sustainable here. And what I learned here from Mirva, the owner, and then Ingrid, who helped me here in the store, is that these products are made all within Peru, some all the way up to Cusco near Machu Picchu. They're made from everything from alpaca, from cotton. It's all sustainable, handmade by local individuals here within the country. I just love the look, the style, the feel, and the idea that they're supporting the local culture, with the procuring the local products and goods. So much so that Mirva was flying out to go meet with one of her local vendors the day that I arrived at the store. Very, very cool. And here just showing you a little street view walking into a shoe store by the name of Brilaz, which is a very economic shoe store. You just see the the basic fixturing, the slat wall here and so forth, promoting their Facebook page, but brands that most of us would not be familiar with from North America, but very economical product mix. And here I like this old butcher shop style, Carne de Productores. I liked how they laid out the store location, very small location, but separated by product category, being beef, from the cow to the pig to the chicken. And they even show with very good visual signage where the cuts would come from with each animal here. And here once again, I just wanted to give you a street view showing the architectural styles and the influence from Europe and Spain and Portugal and so forth. Some of these old buildings have been here over hundreds of years. And this inside is a modern grocery store by the name of Metro Barranco. And you would think that you were in a relatively similar grocery store in North America. The standard metal upright shelving, similar to a Madix or Streeter or Logier. You got pollo. It's, fried chicken on the left, and, a little cafe up here on the left as well. And here, as I just stroll through, you see major labels: Colgate, Clorox, Raid. That's right. You got Downy. Major labels from, North America that we're all familiar with. And then quite a few that you wouldn't be. Baby Sec toilet paper. You got Gillette razors there on the right, and Cervezas. We all know what a beer is. Check this store here out. Combination of brands. You got Estra Falario, and I loved what I learned. Nats, she clued me in and walked me through how they utilize labor from the local women's prison to make these sustainable garments. And then over here you got Dario, which is this handmade cool little jewelry pieces. I truly love the style, look, and feel, and even how it's merchandised. With there being multiple labels within this store location, I loved and appreciate the time that Nats walked me through and explaining to me that Infinity Beyond has been one of the leaders here locally with upcycling, recycling, and reusing product mix. So loved it. Thanks much, Nats. I truly enjoy what you see cruising the streets. So I was out early morning. This dude's got this little knife sharpening machine. It's got two wheels on the other end. He kind of just picks up the big wheel, cruises it around town, hits up the restaurants. They pay him, I don't know, a couple bucks to sharpen their knives before they open up. This guy dragging out the kiosk to start the day. And here I found a cool store by the name of Icon, as in iconic. And I had Claudia, who was gracious enough to walk me through describing some of their local, suppliers, all from Peru. And here you see the name, Maya, handmade, local as well. Everything from clothing to accessories to, home decor and various product selection on textiles from alpaca to cotton and so forth. I loved it. It says, never stop creating. And once again, I love stepping into these old historic buildings. And obviously at one point, these were a home to someone, over 100 years ago. But this is Artisananos Don Bosco. This is a collaboration, a foundation of over 400 artists that live up in the mountains that produce everything from woods and stone and glass and painters and so forth. I was truly blown away by the collection of art, as this place feels like a museum. Check this chair out. This thing's sweet. Again, Artisananos Don Bosco. There you go. And here I stepped foot into what's called Daedalo, which is a gallery that also sells their products. And again, it's a collection from various tribal communities up in the mountains and very remote village locations here nearby. And what they do is a collaborative. They bring the goods in for sale in the high traffic area here in Lima, specifically Barranco. And you see it's a collection of all kinds of materials, from wood to glass to pottery to clothing, paintings and so forth. But that's why you got to have a mixture of styles and influence from various artists and communities. So very much was enthralled with Daedalo. And somewhat out of the norm here, I wanted to show you a place called Camarino right next to the theater here in town. And check out how cool this place is. The translation from Spanish would be dressing room in English. I just love the feel, the vibe, the decor. This was one of my breakfast spots while I was here in Barranco. I just love the vibe and energy of this place. And here I am jamming down the street. And there's a store with no sign out front, which I loved. You jump in here and it says Flora and Fauna. Basically a natural, organic health food store. Kind of my vibe. The healthiness factor of trying to get the goods that are the best for our body. Yeah, they got everything from, fresh lettuce and blueberries, even just some organic wines and so forth here. Flora and fauna. Qipus, artesanales. Ajá.
Artesanías.
Artesanías.
Ajá.
Hola, Vanessa.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo te digo yo?
Todo bien, siempre. Pero a mí me gusta su tienda. Yo quiero promoción su marca. And as I was checking out Vanessa's store here by the name of Qipus, which is an indigenous word, that she was showing me they had all kinds of knickknacks and shirts and sweaters and so forth. And then she was going to try to set it up where I could go visit like one of the local suppliers. Fortunately, it didn't pan out, but she was very informative and explaining to me where most of these products come from, like tribal or indigenous villages, quite a ways outside of Lima, even all the way up to Cusco and near Machu Picchu. So very tribal, indigenous. I loved it. And here I am checking out of this week's video in front of a sign, Barranco. That's right. The ocean is just there, 1 block to the west. You really can't see it too much. And then just across this ravine is what's called Miraflores, kind of the upscale modern location where most tourists would stay. I chose Barranco, a little more bohemian, a little more hippie style, a little the cultural community and so forth. But I just wanted to close out saying it's been an awesome week here in Barranco, Lima, Peru. Hopefully you've enjoyed checking out some of the local options, the farmers market, checking out some of the store locations and how they differ from what we're accustomed to in North America. I had a ball here, had it right. Even picked up a new little bracelet. That's right. And changed up the necklace from the Amazon jungle trip. That's right, from the tribal community. All right. Thanks much. Tagging along. Retail Nomad. Hasta la vista.
Stay tuned to the Retail Nomad, as each week we'll be profiling different types of shopping experiences around the world. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Ciao.